Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo 96008138. Omadam account bi ene de pampa so jumadi ebre wonti kai. Na ehye ne so. Ye betia tom voter region de but yanti we say mfi wonom. Professor Stephen Adai akasa. Na okasa ye no. This year road minister Akwasi Amoakwata eka say there are tips ewo the ministry honum but onu kura so achro krata de akoma yuku say asemo a papa aye evane say Stephen Adai aka no yuku fo nhwe na womo enye hwehwemu yemfra papa no na face no ofa eho eye anoyie any evidences enye den emeto manim na ye wie susu a na ya bo eye papa ya yes in the age enti na so accumulated leave na the man no and omampani ya so crowd hadrin enti ko crowd time was say crowd retirement ura ya dom level former auditor general the voice hanum yebebo etiti first voice no Professor Stephen Adai.
Professor alleged the high levels of corruption by appointees of the current administration.
This road contract will be given to you, provided you put 1 million upfront, or not that when you get your money. Then, and this is what Akufo-Addo must be thinking about, and if he knows about it, must be ashamed of. That now his people demand from you a certain amount before you be considered for the job. Why? Because then when they get it, whether the government pays you or not, they have gotten their money. As if people are in a hurry to loot the country before the end of Akufo-Addo's term.
He acknowledged the possibility of a rebound, but also warned that the journey would be challenging.
One of the greatest disappointments of Nana Akufo-Addo's regime is that honestly, he raised the hope of Ghanaians. Ghanaians expected that we had gotten the leader with a vision, with the charisma, with the determination. And it seems if he doesn't redeem himself in the next 14 months, he will go down in history of one of the most disappointing leaders. And what the corruption, the arrogance, they think that there is Ghana is for them, and that without them Ghana would not be there. Even some of them thinking that they should tell us who should be our next president. God forbid.
He questioned government reluctance to address the issue of brain drain, which he believes has led to a crisis in the health and financial sectors.
The nurses and the teachers, who constituted about 75% of public service, will go for loans. And because they were public servants, it was assured. Now they are run away and they can't pay. So have to chase them to London, to America, and that thing. So the small banks, I know one which has about 7 million Ghana cedis, they are chasing, they have to write off.
He anticipated that citizens will hold leaders accountable to promote growth and development.
Okay, it's Professor Stephen Adai, or a former government appointee in Yaban be as President Akufo-Addo's government. Now, or your boss, our Ghana Revenue Authority board chair. Before Okan Sansem we see in Central for Dean Common earlier. Now, Road Minister Akwasi Amoakwata so akasa krono a ekoso e wona kache no so no krade e o pamo bi no omo obesa fa omo chiri no ene omo chagina mo a okoto more so.
What kind of, I don't want to use the word, but look at what we are seeing. And we are citizens of this country. And these drivers, what they cannot do in their own countries, they do it here with impunity. Because we have some of our unpatriotic brothers and sisters who prefer money to protecting our road infrastructure. Because people want money in their pockets. There are people in my own ministry who are involved in this kind of thing. We have a number of Azil Road centers from here to Paga, a number of them. But they pass through. We have fought this war all these years, and we don't seem to win. There are a lot of corrupt people. There are a lot of thieves in my own ministry. You sack them, you employ new ones, and when you come, the new ones are even worse than those that you sack. What sort of country are we building for ourselves?
Okay, eti honorable Kwesiam Wakwata and Motene Kaneti on also they pay so the same road contract no sense. My yentie ya dom level contract outdoor. Ya na man for say oh ya man contract ABCD. Ma wie me de me krata ni muntu ameka. Obekwa akwa na akwa ebo achibidi.
Issued a report on government liabilities. And in that report, I disallowed 5.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes.
That time it was about 1.1 billion US dollars equivalent. Our verification or audit revealed that some of the contracts, people signed certificates to say that this work has been done. But during the course of the audit, you go down there and you don't find the work done. The construction firms may submit their claim, and then the certification is done by the various officers, and that is not there. If you read that report, you will see that there are several instances we say that the items procured, we cannot even find it.
That's right.
If you even remember the popular Crow and Associate case, it was the same thing that the auditors came with. But they don't know what exactly Crow and Associate did, for which they were paid.
And yet they took our money.
Yes, they took more than, people have been talking about 1 million Ghana cedis. It's dollars, we're not Ghana
They
cedis.
took $1 million.
It was $1 million. It's not
for
Ghana
doing
cedis,
no work.
for which we have no evidence of work done. And that was what we were challenging. And we went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court danced Palogo around the case and then and released them.
What kind of country?
Yes, because the Supreme Court in that case, to be honest with you, I was shocked by their behavior, because the judge referred to the Supreme Court to tell us whether actually that procurement, that activity was of national security.
Ivan, Mamitio, with a young chicken.
And I think that the playing, a commit to affirm some of us. Some I can, and the one casane other commentators in the radio so omoka. Because so anybody surprised hearing any of these things on the tape, because that is Nema Yakan. You see, say Yakan politics a large pool, everybody may come on board for us to yanya politics. But when it comes to the government aspect, the governance aspect, a reserve for few individuals with character, people with strong conviction, people with the requisite expertise, humano, people with foresight and insight into Sankrofoni a bit me rely on more, yet they build it on mine. But Bubru ya na ya politics no. Say uhu say power na ya win no. Some compensatory way be a way bre and young compensate amount for so obi brema political party, because political party is a vehicle we use to capture political power. There are several ways those individuals can be reimbursed if you want to do it that way. But to sacrifice sensitive state institutions for these individuals, a minor top baha. And I think that is the point we've got into. When Akufo-Addo won power in this particular country, he merit and then as if we now were thrown to the dogs. He decided to reward people based on their loyalty, not to the state, but to him as a person and to his party. So they brought on board a lot of criminals. And I'm telling you, so these guys, most of them, they're just a cartel of unintelligent hoodlums and the criminals are Sabi. Corona Obono Cranium Finansan Cajon, because in US and Italy, there are people within government who are criminals. perpetrating fraud against the state. But these people may exit power several years before the Omoye can be uncovered. But these are a bunch of unintelligent criminals. Even at the end of that tells you the kind of gullible minds they entrusted power into their hands. Obama ba kroma no. Oba can't say Africa here strong institutions. Now no me catch you say strong institutions enye kwaku anama na institution here dan bi na yamana strong. A nipa the seni must have great convictions, and those people will be interfacing the institution, because those institutions, and those nipa no interfacing those institutions, just to make sure say the principles and the values are you believe in will be upheld. Now you draw the red lines in the sand. So these are the red lines. Even though I am the president, these are my close associates. If you go against these norms, these values, these principles, one kasa you don't need to be told what to do. One kasa win him. So until those things never established, there is a well demarcated lines. These are red lines you don't cross. But we have established a system. System is such that a reward obia, we don't look at way president nan kasa kra no ono ankasa na committing into a lot of scandals and a lot of fraudulent activities. I'm gonna lose the moral. Your friend saying wait bia obetimi agina ho akase me fight against obi anase or punish obi say obi ayade. And we've gotten to a point individuals are more demonstrated this strong will and this strong conviction on what you say, okay, yeah, our loyalty is to the state, our loyalty is to the constitution, and our loyalty is to the people of this country, not to the president, not to his party, and not to his allies, but to the state. And to these people, Mr. Domilivo, when he became your friend say, age, which is the auditor general, no, he made sure say, Juma Magana. And baby no krewo biano or the beto, it doesn't matter nipa equatiano. And these are strong men of conviction we need. But there was a deliberate crackdown on him just to ensure say they saw him say he's an enemy to the president and say for but these are strong people we need. The whole state machinery crack down on him, and they use some things like yes in the age and say for na president no didn't feel saying so as some no call subsequently look at the way the Supreme Court dealt with the issue. Another day by a follows case or and now they have free day to do whatever they are doing, and so because of this same crew associate as some okay. And his president, Akufo-Addo, we are committed, like he promised, like he told Ghanaians, because for all these years that he has been advocating to be president, the mantra has always been one: anti, saying corruption. Crusade, and now all running, citing and us principles and those stuff. Those principles has been trashed and drugs and they trample on those things and are doing the other way around. Or who said Domlivo a threat, the guy has been sacrificed, and not him alone. Martin Amidu as a special prosecutor on the buy, and they thought this is a guy who is peeved with his former party NDC, and for that matter, they were going to exploit his anger against individuals in the past government. But this is a man with strong conviction. He sees that yes, it is right to convict people in the past administration, but there are people within this government who are doing the excesses. And he, as a person of great conviction, he cannot allow himself to be used in that regard. Is the reason why he confronted the president and told him right in the face, my friend, I can't continue to do this job. And now after all, on your special prosecutor, I keep telling people, say, Memma Obin to me, minister, and I say, and then you sacrifice your personal beliefs and personal values and principles because Yati Obi a minister, but who did that? And there are people who even respect you the more. So what is the guarantee? Say Obima to me, na say or kase kodin se muhunu na different. So what will happen? What is the word that can happen? So if you have such strong conviction in your head, nobody can your friends string control you and let you do things that you don't want to do. And this strong institutions, such strong personalities now. Or metimia boy amaya guard some of these things. President has deliberately taken all these people out the space, and then it's free for all. Is the reason why people find comfortable say yeah because within government sector those people who were brought in, were never brought in based on any merit. They were there because your party now winning the Yasasa Gum. The evidence about that one thing, the national security apparatus, the operations so the way a manner some individuals were recruited. Go to the army, go to the police, how people were recruited. These are party hooligans, party miscreants, so people who are socially misfit. These are people we have enlisted, armed them with guns. They go around this particular country offering security. And my catcher said the most dangerous thing to do is to arm a fool with a gun. Now arming with a gun, he's dangerous to himself and dangerous to everybody around him. So during elections, those people are at the mercy of these politicians. They can deploy them to go and do whatever that they want to do. So a typical example demonstration of the American show and it happened here during the election in Techiman. Because these people were brought in, they had no clue about security for them. Training near to no proper training. And see, I did not man instructions say civilian air to bois for 2 siano. Now, so the new band yet training so be only nansa or certain moral, certain principles are. Don't forget that the military is the most disciplined profession on the planet. Yeah. So the near or civilian air to bois, no the or the 2 siano or more damn. But these things happen because those guys, their loyalty isn't to the state, isn't to the people, isn't to the constitution, but to the person who brought them in. Because on NIMSA unqualified and somebody has created a space. So they must do everything to ensure that the regime will survive. Because the very moment the regime crumbles, their future crumbles. So their future is running concurrently with Abino, so they will do everything, and then they play out in all facets of our national life. Who say?
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.